July 14, 2020 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law and the executive order of Governor Baker, suspending certain provisions thereof due to the ongoing public health crisis. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the WebEx event platform. The hearing is also being live streamed. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. As with our in-person meetings, comments in support will be followed by comments in opposition. The order of comments is as follows: elected officials, representatives of election officials, and members of the public. The number of people called upon to offer comment and the time for commenting will be limited by the chair as time constraints require. For that reason, the board prefers to hear from members of the public who are most impacted by the project. That is, those individuals who live closest to the project. If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise your hand icon in the application via the WebEx platform. To raise your hands, click the participant information icon. From there, find your name, and on the lower right-hand side, you should see a hand-raising icon. Click the icon and your hand will be raised virtually. Click it again and your hand should go down. If you are connected to the hearing by telephone, please press *3 to raise your hand. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first, and then can provide their comment. In the interest of time and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Fortune reads the address into the record. These instructions will be repeated throughout the hearing. Today we have a 5-member board. That means that any applicants who wish to may request an administrative deferral. If you decide to go ahead, every applicant needs to know that they need all 5 members of the board to speak in support of their project. We ask that if this impacts you in any way, that you contact the chair of the subcommittee where all these nominees are in process, because we know that many of you have been impacted by the delay due to COVID, and we feel that this could, in fact, add to the delay for you and your project. So please make sure your voice is heard. Mr. Fortune, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to ask you how you want to handle this, because we have quite a few deferrals and withdrawals. So would you like me to call the ones that I'm aware of that are deferred and withdrawn, or do you want to have the raising of the hands?
Yes, please do so.
All right, so I'm going to call the first cases for deferral. Calling case BOA 1003148 50 Elm Street. Name and address for the record, please.
Is the applicant here for 50 Elm Street?
She's present.
Okay, can you please put your name and address on the record, please? Miss Ambassador, is she unmuted? Has she unmuted herself?
I'm sorry, there's a little computer glitch. I'm just waiting to get back my,
1 minute. We'll unmute her in a moment, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
oh, you did. Change roles.
Miss Ambassador, should we just go on to the next case until everything's sorted out with 50 Elm?
Nope, I have her here. Sorry about that.
No problem. Can you please put your name and address on the record?
Yeah, my name is Christine, and 50 Elm Street, Charlestown, Massachusetts, 02129.
And tell us, are you requesting a deferral or not?
Yes, please.
On what basis?
I'm currently in my third trimester of pregnancy, and kind of due to medical complications, have not been able to take some of the necessary kind of steps to kind of prepare for this meeting.
So do you need to withdraw the case and then reapply, or would you like to defer?
I would prefer to defer if the board would allow it.
Okay, so we are scheduling in September, possibly in October.
That would be better. That would be after my due date, which would help a lot.
Okay, you're gonna have a baby on you then, great. Okay, more power to you. May I have a motion for deferral?
A motion to defer.
Can you please tell me who made the motion and who seconded it?
Ed DeVoe?
Okay, and who was the second?
Mark Ehrlich, second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The date, please?
You have a date of September 29th.
September 29th at 11:30. Okay, see you then.
Thank you.
Calling the next case for deferral, calling BOA 999-497, 7 Smith Court. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Timothy Burke. My name is Timothy Burke. My address is 142 Berkeley Street in Boston. And we are requesting a deferral for 7 Smith Court today.
And what is the reason, please, Mr. Burke?
We need some more time to work with the mayor's office and the Beacon Hill Civic Association and the abutters. We have constructed a mock-up at their request, but we haven't had a chance to have a meeting to review it yet with them. But we would appreciate the additional time.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to defer, Mark Ehrlich.
I'll second
Is
that
it-
motion, Secretary.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
You have a
The
date
date,
of,
please.
you have a date of September 29th at 11:30.
Great. Thank you very much.
So anybody on the line, any abutters on the line for 50 Elm or 7 Smith Court, they've both been deferred to 9/29. September 29th at 11:30. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm calling the next case for deferral, calling BOA 105-7558, 94 to 96 Minot Street. Name and address for the record, please.
For 94 Street?
94 to 96 Minot Street. Name and
Yes, that
address,
would be
please.
Paul Quinn, 94 Minor Street.
And are you requesting a withdrawal or a deferral, sir?
Neither, ma'am, I don't think.
You're planning to go ahead with your request today?
Yes, I would hope so.
Okay. Okay, hold on a minute then. Let's go to the next case.
I think someone has their hand raised on this.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Christopher has his hand raised.
Mr. Christopher, your name and address for the record, please?
Madam Chair, members of the board, James Christopher, RCA LLC, 415 Neponset Ave. We are not deferring 94 Minor Street. We plan to present.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move ahead with the next request for
I
deferral.
will, Madam Chair. The next two cases are a letter of intent to withdraw, so I'm going to call them both into the record. Calling BOA 975-142-106R Clear Avenue. The companion case BOA 975-147-106 Clear Avenue. Name and address for the record.
Vernon, are you on?
Madam Chair, I do have a letter of withdrawal.
Oh, okay, sorry. May I have a motion then?
Make a motion for denial without prejudice. The Secretary.
Is there a second?
Second, Ed DeVoe.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 988-772-119 Hollingsworth Street. Madam Chair, this one also is a letter of intent, but it doesn't look like we have the letter of withdrawal.
May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion for denial without prejudice, the Secretary.
Is there a second?
Second, Ed DeVoe.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It's been denied without prejudice.
Madam Chair, the next case is BOA 990054, 5 Martinwood Road. We also have a letter of withdrawal, so I'll make a motion for denial without prejudice.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's been denied without prejudice.
Madam Chair, the next case, BOA 1003978, 56 Harriet Street. We also have a letter of withdrawal. The applicant, I'm sorry, which one's that? Maury Street? What's that? Okay, sorry, Madam Chair. I'm sorry, wrong one. A case BOA 1006332, 36 Maury Street. We have a letter withdrawing. So I make a motion for denial without prejudice, the Secretary.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, I'm going to go back to any other cases for deferral or withdrawal.
Are there any raised hands requesting withdrawal or deferral?
There are two raised hands, Gerard Kennedy and Ryan. Can't see the last name, I apologize.
Mr. Kennedy, what project are you here for?
50 Elm Street, Charlestown. I have a question.
You can ask that question offline of the BPD of the Board of Appeals staff. Any applicants here who are here as applicants?
I believe John Berry for 11 Pacific indicated before the meeting that he wanted to request a deferral.
Okay, Mr. Barry, are
Madam
you
Chair, let me
on?
call that into the record then. Calling case BOA 993-501 11 Pacific Street.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is John Barry, our office at 400 Granite Ave in Milton, Mass. 02186. On BOA 993-501, we're respectively requesting a deferral so we can have some more time to work with the community on this project. We currently have an additional abutters meeting scheduled for July 22nd to go back and work with community members. Unfortunately, our community process was cut short by COVID, and we do have some additional work on this project that needs to occur with the community.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Motion for deferral.
Is there a second?
Second, Mark Fortune, Secretary.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case is deferred. What date, please?
You have a date of September 29th at 11:30.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board.
You're welcome.
Are there any other cases for deferral or withdrawal?
While we are all getting ready to call Roland Street into the record, just a reminder that there are 5 board members today, and that means that every board member needs to speak in support or be in support of the project. You can, if you so desire, request a deferral, an administrative deferral, given the fact that there are only 5 board members. That is for every case that has not yet been called. So just give you the heads up. And as I mentioned before, please contact the chair of the appropriate committee so you will have a full board sooner.
Madam Chair, would you like me to proceed?
Yes, please do. Sorry.
I'm going to call the first 3 cases in. Case BOA 104-9041, 52 Roland Street. There are 2 companion cases, BOA 104-9040, 56 Roland Street, and BOA 104-9052, 62 Roland Street. This is to combine 52 Roland with 56 into one lot and subdivide 5,389 square feet to create a new lot at 62 Roland Street to be developed on a new lot. The violations, Article 62, Section 29, off-street parking is insufficient. This is for 56 Roland. This is to combine 56 Roland with 52 into one lot and subdivide 5,389 square feet into 62 Roland Street. The violation is off-street parking. Article 62, Section 29, off-street parking is insufficient. And then 62 Roland, this is to erect a new 7-story mixed-use building. The majority of the building will be located in Somerville on a newly created 85,615 square foot lot. The violations, Article 62, Section 17, multifamily dwelling is forbidden. Article 62, Section 17, accessory parking is forbidden. Article 62, Section 18, the floor to area ratio is excessive. Article 62, Section 18, the building height is excessive. And Article 62, Section 29, off-street parking is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
Madam Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, Madam Chair. My name is James Green. I'm an attorney with Rubin and Rudman at 53 State Street. And I'm here on behalf of all 2 appellants, Paradigm Direct for 52 and 56 Roland Street, and Criterion CPC Inabelt LLC for 56 or 62 Roland Street. As cited by the Secretary, this involves the consolidation of property in Charlestown and Somerville, 52 and 56 Roland Street, and then the subdivision of that consolidated parcel into a smaller parcel of 62 Roland Street, which will be combined with a major project in Somerville. This entire process and project has been reviewed by ISD, and we have a MOU between ISD and the city of Somerville with respect to the review of the project under state building code and the issuance of building permits. I have submitted to the board a number of documents, which include some visuals, the plans, copy of the MOU between Somerville and Boston. Also, a copy.
Mr. Green, before you proceed,
Yes, ma'am.
can you please go ahead and verbally explain to us what the proposal is, and also what the MOU, the highlights of the MOU, and clarify whether this has been through an Article 80 process?
With respect to the MOU relates specifically to state building code.
Okay, thank you.
5% of the building is in Boston, 95% is in Somerville. And the
Okay.
Commissioner of ISD has agreed with the building inspector in Somerville that Somerville shall exercise state building code jurisdiction over the project.
Okay, so let's go over the merits of the case then.
As a result of the plans have just been put on the screen, which shows the municipal boundary line between Boston and Somerville and how it bisects the project. That's the first level. It bisects about 9 parking spaces. They're in Boston, not Somerville. The next floor plan for floors 2 through 7 show the location of the dwelling units, which are also bisected by the municipal boundary line. About 30 dwelling units, and if you could call them dwelling units, are impacted. The front door is in Somerville. The living space, portions of it, are in Boston. Although the MOU addresses state building code, it doesn't address zoning application. And therefore, Somerville has applied its zoning code to the project in Somerville, and Boston has applied its zoning code to the portion in Boston. As a result, the existing lots at 52 and 56 Rowland Street were cited for insufficient parking because it's losing parking. And the property at 62 Rowland Street was cited for FAR and use citations because it does not comply with the local industrial subdistrict in Charlestown. The actual...
Mr. Green, what is the zoning in Somerville? Because what I'm trying to ascertain is, yes, the bulk of the property is in Somerville, but what are the tangible impacts on Boston?
The tangible impacts on Boston are minimal. The Somerville has granted zoning variances for this project, which has the support of the Somerville community and the planning board in Somerville. The result of the off-street parking citation will be addressed through a parking easement, which has been submitted to the board, so that the Boston property at 52 to 56 Rowland Street will have sufficient off-street parking, which will be located in the garage in Somerville, which you see on the plan in front of you. There's a garage that's underneath the residential and also to the right of the plan. The owner of 52 and 56 Rowland Street will have not less than 106 parking spaces, which will ensure its compliance with the zoning code in Boston. And this will cure any deficiency as a result of the subdivision of that small parcel.
Thank you. Please stay on. How are the plans, Mr. Ehrlich?
Well, as the applicant said, well over 90% of the building is in Somerville and not Boston. So from our perspective, as the Boston Zoning Board of Appeals, it's relatively de minimis. The plans are fine.
Any questions from the board? Is anybody here to speak in support of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is Quinlan Locke with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. I'd like to go on record in support of this proposal. As alluded to a few times, the majority of the proposal is in Somerville and has gone through a Somerville community process that did include the abutters within 300 feet in Charlestown. That community process ran back in 2018 and 2019 and concluded with approval vote from the City of Somerville Zoning Board.
Okay. Anybody else to speak in support? Anybody to speak in opposition? Any raised hands?
No raised hands, Madam Chair.
Given that information, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve the application, Mark Ehrlich.
Is there a second?
Second, Carol.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appreciate it.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 106-0476, 75 to 77 Dartmouth Street. This is interior renovations to an existing restaurant. Work includes interior finishes, new millwork, upgraded material, add a takeout window. Violations, Article 6, Section 4, other protectional conditions. Name and address for the record, please.
Jacqueline Gannon, 96 Chandler Street, 02116, about 7577 Dartmouth Street.
So tell us what the name of the restaurant is, and what's the change?
Sure. Greystone Cafe, Bakery and Provisions. It was previously Appleton Cafe, and we are keeping it essentially what it was before, just making some interior transitions, and are looking to remove the proviso that granted the zoning to the previous petitioner.
And does this new petitioner have experience in takeout?
I am the new petitioner, here with my partner and the owner, and I worked at Appleton Cafe previously, so I do have experience with takeout in that particular space.
Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Ehrlich?
The plans are fine.
Any questions from the board? Is anybody here to speak in support of this proposal?
Madam Chair, this is Faisal Sharif with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We have no concerns at this time. It's an existing restaurant, and this is just allowing the current owner to be able to serve takeout at that cafe. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anybody to speak in opposition?
Madam Chair, as the secretary, I'm sorry, we have 10 letters of support.
Thank you.
Madam,
Sorry, Anna, go ahead.
sorry, I want to speak in support.
Okay.
Okay. Madam Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support with neighbors and also the Police Neighborhood Association, who provided a letter of non-opposition regarding the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any raised hands out there?
None, Madam Chair.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve with the usual takeout language for this petitioner only.
Is there a second?
Second, Ed DeVoe.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. You're all set. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 995-897, 98 Forbes Street. This is to confirm the occupancy as a one-family and add a two-story wood-framed addition, approximately 150 square feet. The violation is Article 9, Section 1, a reconstruction extension of a non-conforming building. Article 55, Section 9, the floor area ratio is excessive. And Article 55, Section 9, the side yard is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
Madam Chair, I don't see the applicant present. Hold on, please.
Madam Chair, we can go back to that one if nobody's present.
Okay.
I'll go to the next case. Calling BOA 102-3329, 21 Galen Street. This is to construct double dormers and add a basement unit.
I'll take care of it. I'll make sure you get it.
And add a basement unit and change occupancy from a two-family dwelling to a three-family dwelling. The violation is Article 50, Section 29, additional lot area is insufficient. Article 50, Section 29, the floor area ratio is excessive. Article 50, Section 29, the building height is excessive in stories. Article 50, Section 29, the building height is excessive in feet. Article 50, Section 29, the front yard is insufficient. Article 50, Section 29, side yard is insufficient. Article 50, Section 29, rear yard is insufficient. And Article 50, Section 43, off-street parking and loading is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
No, I took on.
Sir, you're unmuted.
Is this Mr. Smith?
Yes, hi, Sean.
Hi, Mr. Smith. Just a reminder, there are 5 members of the board today, and you need us all to be in support of your project. If you would like to, you can also request an administrative deferral to be heard on another day when there are 6 members.
No, that's fine. 5 is fine. I'm here with the owner.
Okay, so please tell us what's being proposed.
We're proposing a dormer on the right-hand side of the building, a shed dormer on the top floor, and to increase the floor space.
Okay, and tell us about the basement. Tell us about the bedrooms in the basement. Tell us about the access from the bedrooms. Tell us the floor to ceiling height, and let us know if the storage utility space to all the units can be accessed by not going through that basement unit.
Yes, the bedrooms are normal size. They're we had the floor to ceiling height is 8 feet. That's why Manuel wanted to apply to put a unit there, because he has excellent ceiling height down the bottom. And the utility and storage we have a window there that's going to be replaced, and they're going to put a door there. That's from the outside, because the basement is a walk-in basement. So that side of the basement is ready. It has a walkway and everything. You can just walk right into the area for that.
And how large is that unit? That basement unit?
It's 1,189 square feet.
Okay. And then tell us about that attic, the dormer that you're proposing.
The attic is existing, so what we want to do, what we were trying to do, he's just trying to increase the space because he has a large family. And then on the right hand, on the left hand side, there's already a dormer there. On the left hand side, that room there, what the dormer would do, it would give him about 4 extra feet on the side, would just increase the floor space.
Okay. Steph, do you mind going to the 3rd floor plan, please? Or the attic plan? In the meantime, how are the plans, Mr. Ehrlich?
Well, unfortunately, I'm just getting power back now, and I don't have the plans up, but my notes indicated it looks like it's really not a set of drawings, it's a software package, and the access to the utility, he's correct that the ceiling height is 8 feet, so that's not an issue in the basement. But the plans themselves don't really show the access to the utilities, don't show the stairs to the basement, and the egress. I mean, this is not a major project, but I'd still be hard pressed to call the drawings adequate.
Okay, can we deal with that through design review and through no building code relief?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way to do it, it is a relatively minor project, and I think we should go forward if the merits are there. But I would prefer that the drawings not be stamped until there's more clarity.
Okay, any questions from the board? Are there any raised hands to speak in support of this proposal?
Hi, this is Jessica from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Good morning, and members of the board. A community process occurred a few months back. I was also completely vetted by the Lee Street Neighborhood Initiative. We'd like to go on record to support the project.
Thank you. Any other raised hands?
Madam Chair, there are no other raised hands.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, we do have one letter of opposition.
Is that based on anything?
Parking.
Just parking? Let's see, though, that is not a violation, is it? Okay, so may I have a motion, please?
Off-street parking was a violation.
It is a violation?
Yes.
So, Mr. Smith, how many parking spaces are you providing?
The owner has a garage that's 2 doors down that can access, I think 2 cars, that can access 2 cars.
Okay. Okay. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve with design review, but hold for signature until the plans are clarified.
Okay, and specifically for design review, Jeff, please, we'd like to make sure that all egresses are right and that the utility room is separate, right, Mark?
Yes, no
All right.
building code relief also.
All right, that's exactly what I was going to ask, to make sure
Yeah.
that we're doing the interiors as well.
Yeah, yes, no code relief.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's a second, is there a second to that?
Second, Tyrone.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set. Good luck.
Thank you.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 105-7558, 94 to 96 Minot Street. This is to construct a new third-story shed dormers and increased living space. The violations, Article 65, Section 9, the floor-to-area ratio is excessive. Article 65, Section 9, the building height is excessive in stories. Article 65, Section 9, the building height is excessive in feet. Article 65, Section 9, the front yard is insufficient. And Article 65, Section 9, the side yard is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is James Christopher, RCA LLC, with the business address of 415 Neponset Ave, for the architectural record. The proposal here is to construct shed dormers on the 3rd story of an existing 2.5-story house. It's Dorchester neighborhood 2-family zoning. The FAR existing is 0.675, would be going to 0.95. There's no change to the footprint of the building, and there's no change to the occupancy. The owners, Paul and Mary Quinn, are longtime Boston residents. They've raised their children in the house, and the boys are teenagers now, and they're just trying to expand their own residence so that they can stay in the community.
And is this a current 2-family dwelling?
It is.
And is there any occupancy in the basement?
No.
I'm sorry?
There is not.
Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Ehrlich?
The drawings are adequate.
Any questions from the board? Is anybody here to speak in support of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Patrick Fandel, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We'd like to go on record in support of this proposal. There was an abutters meeting held on March 11th of this year with no objections from the Cedar Grove Civic Association. So we'd like to go on record in support.
Thank you. Any hands raised either in support or in opposition?
Madam Chair, no raised hands.
Okay, given that information, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve BPDA design review.
Karen Foley, do I see your hand raised? Okay, may I have a second?
Excuse me, Madam Chair. You do see my hand raised. Karen Foley, Councilor Sabi George's office, would like to go on record in support of the project on Minot Street. Thank you.
Thank you. So there's a motion for approval with, design review. Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second, Tyrone.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set. Good luck.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 997-345, 24 to 26 Rosario Street. This is to expand the parking area to accommodate 2 vehicles towards the rear. The violations, Article 10, Section 1, the limitation of off-street parking, and Article 65, Section 41, off-street parking and loading requirement. Name and address for the record, please.
I don't see Mr. Kennedy present.
Is there anybody here to speak on Mr. Kennedy's behalf on this project?
I am here.
Okay, please put your name and address on the record.
John Kennedy. John Kennedy, present.
Yes.
15 Suzanne Lane, Mansfield, Mass.
Okay, so tell us about the proposal you have before us.
So 2426 Rosario Street, it's a two-family house, and it has a curb cut and a long driveway that is about 90 feet from the street to the backyard. Mr. Kennedy designed an additional parking space next to the space at the end of the driveway so that it would not be necessary to back or exchange keys, back cars in and out. When they designed that extra space, it did not have any setback or open space violations. Because we were creating a new space, it required the examination of the code as to the width of the existing driveway. The code calls for a 10-foot wide driveway and new construction. And the driveway is an existing condition since 1930, and it's 9 feet. So the driveway is a foot short of what would be required under the new code, but it's pre-existing condition, and it is clearly wider than an 8.5 parking space, which is easily accommodating in width for the vehicle to drive in and park into the newly created parking space, and that's the only violation.
And so just to clarify, this is the two-family dwelling, and this is just for the use of the residents in the building?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Ehrlich?
Well, I was going to say the plans were not adequate until the explanation, because I don't know why they didn't bother to put the dimensions. The 9 foot, it would have been helpful if that had been there anyway. For the applicant, what's the size of the curb cut? Because it extends beyond just the existing driveway.
Because that's the neighbor next door,
Right.
accesses their driveway from the same curb cut.
No, that's right. So I'm asking, what's the total size of the curb cut?
20 feet.
20 feet, okay. Well, 10 feet is required, but since it's an existing condition, I guess the plans are adequate.
Madam Chair, and Mark, the secretary here, we do have a letter from Bob D'Amico, and Bob D'Amico says the plans for the above address look okay, but the residents will have to back down the driveway because there is not enough room to maneuver in order to turn around.
I think a lot of us do that, right? Is anybody here to speak in support of that proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Patrick Fandel, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This is an existing driveway with no objection from the abutters or the Civic Association, so we'd like to go on record in support.
Thank you. Are there any raised hands either in support or in opposition?
Karen Foley?
No, I don't have my hand raised, I'm sorry.
Karen, are you going to speak on this or not?
I'm not Chairwoman.
No? Okay. Are there any other raised hands besides Karen? Okay?
Nice.
Ed, are you seeing any raised hands?
No, Madam Chair, no raised hands.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve. Mark Ehrlich.
Is there a second?
Second, Sarah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set. Good luck.
Thank you.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 990-532-571 Truman Parkway. This is an addition to an existing one-family colonial garrison-style house. The violations, Article 68, Section 8, floor area ratio is excessive, and Article 68, Section 8, the building height is excessive in stories. Name and address for the record, please.
While the applicant gets on, let me just remind him that this is a 5-member board, and the applicant does have the option of asking for an administrative deferral. If you decide to go ahead, you need all 5 members in support. Okay? So is the applicant on the,
Honestamente, me sacan de esta reunión y después me cuelgan.
Y ahí se te va a condenar como quien dice, aquí no me puedes tocar.
Y no está.
Hay una amiga, la Biblia, pasa.
so is somebody helping the applicant translate?
Una teología de allá. Yo la de por aquí. ¿Cayó?
Is Mr. Aguila on the, on? Yes, are you on?
Yes, I am on.
Okay, please put your name and address on the record and tell us what you're proposing to do.
Sure. My name is Rodolfo Aguilar, and I'm here with Dora, my wife. We live at 571 Truman Parkway in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
And what we're proposing to do is we bought this property in 2000, and at that time we only had 2 kids. Now, after 20 years, the needs of my family has increased. My home quarters are really too tight for our needs, and we want to stay in Boston. And my kids are pretty soon. One is in college, the other ones are going to go to college, but I want them to go to college here in Boston, so I want to make sure that they have a space so that they can actually be comfortable and do the things we want to do. And this is what we propose. We have this.
So let me just get clear. Is this a one family or is it a 2 family?
This is a 1 family house.
And are you proposing it to change it to a 2 family?
No, we would like to expand our home quarters and basically keep families.
So one of the things we need to, because first of all, the page that we have up says unit 2. And also as the plans they were showing us, the basement, the first floor plans looks like there are 2 kitchens in the house.
No. That's what is proposed. That, you know, for the future, we would like to expand and have like a small studio or guest room, if you would like to call it that. But no, there's only 1 kitchen at the house right now.
Yeah, we need to understand clearly what's happening. So where are you proposing our addition?
The addition is to the right-hand side of the house. There is the existing, I don't know why you got a little confused, but it's the existing home quarters, which is like 1,900 square feet. And then what this is expanding it to is just basically to the right-hand side of the property. I have 9,000 square feet, over 9,000 square feet, and my house is to the left in that 9,000 square feet. And I spend money with the plans. I even got a land surveyor for flooding and all these other things. I included as part of the package for you guys to take a look. Yes, I have spent quite some time and money.
So, Steph, can you hold on right there? So if we're looking at the house with the front door, or you're proposing to add how many feet if I'm looking at the front door on the right-hand side of the building?
I believe it's like 28 feet or 30 feet, the expansion from the finish of the existing building to the right-hand side of it, where the driveway is. Basically, my driveway.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Ehrlich, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there is confusion in the drawings about the unit 1 and unit 2 and about the multiple kitchens, but in fact, that's not what's being proposed here. What's being proposed is a separate addition, and the drawings are fine for that.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Anybody here to speak in support of this proposal?
Hi, Madam Chair, members of the board. Haley Dillon, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other raised hands, either in support or in opposition?
One moment, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, there are no other raised hands.
Thank you. Mr. Ehrlich, I wonder if what we need is to make sure that the plans, that the basement kitchen is Xed out and also the unit counts are Xed out. So it's clear that we're not approving in any way the subdivision or the creation of a second unit. So may I have a motion, please?
I guess I can make a motion to approve BPDA design review with a proviso that the approval is limited to the addition in the drawings.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Carol.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set, sir. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 1009396, 125 Itasca Street. This is to install a driveway for 2 residential vehicles on an adjacent vacant lot owned in common. The violations, Article 10, Section 1, off-street parking should not be less than 5 feet from the side lot line. Name and address for the record, please.
It looks like Miss Mitchell hung up. She was here previously.
Okay, let's hold on until she connects back in again. If anybody else has her phone number or something, please be in touch with her. Let's go on to Harriet Street.
Madam Chair, I'm going to call the next case, calling BOA 1003978, 56 Harriet Street. This is a change of first floor apartment entrance as a continuance to the basement. The violation is Article 51, Section 9. The floor area ratio is excessive. Name and address for the record, please.
Is the applicant or a representative of the applicant available on this case?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'm being told by counsel that she passed away.
No, Madam Chair, a moment. If you're here to speak about 56 Harriet Street, speak up now.
Hello?
Yes, please put your name and address on the record.
Hello?
Hello, can anybody hear this gentleman? Please put your name and address on the record.
What are you doing this for?
Are you here for Harriet Street?
Hello, this is the board hearing?
Yes.
How are you hanging this up?
Miss Ambassador, can you help this gentleman, please?
Did you say unmute him?
Is he here for 56 Harriet Street?
I don't believe so, Madam Chair.
Okay, is anybody here for 56 Harriet Street?
I didn't see any raised hands, and I also don't see Anna Galvin present.
Okay.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair, I'm being
Yes.
told by counsel that 56 Harriet Street, the applicant had passed away, and Stephanie was trying to get in touch with someone, but unfortunately, no one was able to help.
May I have a motion for denial without prejudice?
Secretary, I'll make a motion for denial without prejudice.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'm going to go back to a case I called earlier, Forbes Street.
No.
Madam Chair, if you can just give me 1 second so I can identify the two callers on the phone, please.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. What address are you present for today? Sir, good morning.
Hello?
Hi, what address are you present for today?
Oh, you talking to me? That's 125 Itasca Street?
Okay, let's go. Are you the applicant?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we, Mr. Fortune, go ahead with the task?
What
Okay.
was that?
I'm going to call it back into the record for 125 Itasca Street, BOA 1009396. This is to install a driveway for 2 residential vehicles. The violation is Article 10, Section 1. Off-street parking shall not be less than 5 feet from the side lot line. Name and address for the record, please.
Mary Mitchell, 125 Itasca Street, Mattapan.
So tell us what is your name, sir?
My name is Stevie Weathers. Our son.
Okay, so tell us what's being proposed.
She wants to put a driveway, when she's getting older. She wants to put a driveway on the other side of the house because, you know, that's the door that she used to go in and out.
Okay.
And, they basically, I guess, when the guy did, I guess he may have said it was too close to the edge of the other property line or something, but I mean, she can easily move that over, if need be.
And is that a 1-family or a 2-family?
It's the legal 2-family, but I mean, nobody's hasn't been down, and she's been here over 30 years, and nobody's never lived down there.
And did she come in with this request before?
No, she just put it in once, but it's kind of been like an ongoing thing that's just never really got resolved.
Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Ehrlich?
There's room for the driveway, that's not a problem. It's a 20-foot curb cut and a 20-foot driveway, and there's really no need for that. It could easily be, there's enough room to maneuver, it could easily be a curb cut and driveway and still have the 2 spaces in the rear of the house.
Okay. Is anybody here, any questions from the board? Is anybody here to speak in support of this proposal? Is anybody here to speak in opposition?
We have 1 person.
Go ahead, please put your name and address on the record.
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Chair. This is Fatima Ali Salam, the chair for the Greater Mattapan Neighborhood Council. I have 1 question in regards to whether or not the applicant has spoken to their neighbors, because I had received a call from a neighbor on Itasca Street because they've had this issue come up before, and they just want to make sure that we just want to make sure that they're actually speaking to neighbors in order to make sure, because Itasca is an extremely busy street, and they've clocked speeds of over 80 miles per hour in a residential area. And we understand the need for off-street parking for that purpose, but we also want to make sure that we're respecting the boundaries of other people's properties.
So the thing is, my question is, does 50 Itasca abut 125?
No, it does not, ma'am.
Okay.
It is nearby, but it does not directly abut.
So, I guess.
They are considered an abutter, but not a direct abutter. Yes.
Not a direct abutter, yes. The question is, are you concerned about whether the absolute direct abutter is in support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can somebody from the, speaking on behalf of the applicant, tell us if the direct abutter has been contacted about this driveway?
Well, I can say the lady on the driveway is gonna be at, basically, she's spoken with her. She knows on both sides of her and the lady across the street, which, I mean, they're all in agreement with it because basically that's gonna take the cars off of the street rather than having the cars on the street and allowing more room for traffic. Like she said, they do a lot of fast driving on, you know, on Atasca Street, and that's another reason why she wants to be, you know, in the driveway when she come out of the house and get into the car.
And we generally, you know, if there are two cars taken off the street, we consider that, and if there's adjustment to the driveway, the length of the driveway, that may be a possible win for the community. Is there parking in front of the on-street parking in front of this building?
Is it parking in front of the door, you mean?
On the street in front of this building?
Yes, there's parking in front of the street, but in this part of the street, I think most of the street is only parking on one side of the street.
Okay.
And it's actually on this side of the street. There's really nobody parked on the other side of the street all the way down the street.
And is there a driveway there already?
There's a driveway on the opposite side of the house, but it's real narrow where you
Madam Chair.
basically can barely get in and out of it.
Jeff Hampton, please.
Yeah, Madam Chair, it's Jeff Hampton from the BPDA. Just looking at online pictures, they already have what looks to be a two-car driveway. If you're looking at the house on the left side, that has a curb cut already, and it would be front yard parking. Already, looks like they already have the driveway built on the right-hand side. They just don't have the curb cut yet. And Mr. Ehrlich, I think this goes to your 20-foot curb cut because this is right next to their neighbor's driveway, who probably has a 10-foot curb cut already. So I think it would just be one large 20-foot curb cut for both properties. My concern would be now you have two driveways on the same property with two curb cuts on the property. I don't know if Bob D'Amico has weighed in on this, but it doesn't look like something that BTD would support. And I know if this were to approve, I would ask for a proviso that the front yard parking on the left-hand side be eliminated and that curb be closed.
Okay.
This is Mark Ehrlich. Mr. Hampton took the words out of my mouth. The driveway on the left on the plot plan is showing a little over 8 feet, which is really too small. I mean, parking an 8.5-foot parking spot, you couldn't even get to it with a driveway that was less than that. And there is an existing curb cut there. I guess, so my question for the applicant would be, is the plan to eliminate that curb cut if this is granted, and if there's a new curb cut approved on the right side of the building, is the plan to eliminate the curb cut on the left so that would increase on-street parking?
Yes, basically, whoever we talked to down on City Hall, they basically already told us that, they put it in writing somewhere along there, that the curb cut on the left-hand side would have to be closed up when we do the one on the right-hand side. And, we're in agreement with that.
Okay. Okay, and Mr. Hampton is...
Information. Can I have a motion, please?
Yeah, I'm going to make a motion to approve the plans with the following provisos, that the new proposed curb cut is 10 foot, which is what it says on the plot plan, and the existing curb cut on the left side be closed off and returned to street parking.
Is there a second?
Secretary.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm going to go back to the next case that we called earlier, case BOA 995-897-98 Forbes Street. Is there anybody there for Forbes Street?
Is Carol Marsh here? we seeing any visitors, or is this mostly staff people on the line or on this call?
One moment, Chair.
Ms. Ambassador, is the applicant available?
Madam Chair, I do not see any raised hands. If you can give me a second, I'll try to identify the other folks on the call. There's only one caller on the phone, and she, or that person has not responded.
Okay.
Good morning. What property are you present for today? Hello? Good morning. Madam Chair, it doesn't look like that person is present.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I'm going to make a motion for denial without prejudice.
Is there a second?
Second, Sarah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The meeting for July 14th is now adjourned. Thank you.